Hey everybody, welcome to Playerchise. Season 11 has ended and it's now time for the playoffs. It's been a long season, so let's take a look at the Season 11 final standings and see which teams made the playoffs. The Bills won the AFC East with an 11-6 record. Metalcore Mike's Browns narrowly won the AFC North with an 11-6 record. The Jaguars narrowly won the AFC South with a 12-5 record. And in the AFC West, the Chargers held off the Chiefs with an 11-6 record to win that division. In the NFC, the Cowboys won the East with a 12-5 record. The Packers won the North with a 15-2 record. The Buccaneers won the South with a 13-4 record. And the 49ers won the West with a 9-8 record. The three wildcard teams in the AFC are the 10-7 Bengals, the 11-6 Colts, and the 10-7 Chiefs. The wildcard teams in the NFC are the 10-7 Eagles, 9-8 Vikings, and 10-7 Falcons. So the funny thing about how this season ended, my Packers ended 15-2. My only two losses came from the Buccaneers and the Cowboys. So out of the top three teams in the NFC, I couldn't beat the other two. So I really consider the Packers the third best team in the NFC. So before we look at the playoff bracket itself, let's take a look at Season 11's league leaders. Johnny H led the league in passing yards with 6,115 yards, and I also led the league in passing touchdowns with 72. Russell Wilson led the league in interceptions with 23 interceptions. Nick Chubb led the league in rushing attempts with 356 attempts. Aaron Jones was Season 11's rushing champion with 2,910 yards. He also led the league in rushing touchdowns with 27 touchdowns. Mike Evans led the league in receptions with 117 receptions. Sammy Watkins is Season 11's receiving champion with 2,144 yards. And Amari Cooper led the league in receiving touchdowns with 27 touchdowns. We've seen the division standings and the league leaders. Now it's time to look at the playoff brackets and just see the playoff matchups for Season 11. In the AFC, the Jaguars are the number one seed and have clinched the first round bye. In the wild card round, the 7th-seeded Bengals take on the 2nd-seeded Chargers. The 6th-seeded Chiefs take on Metalcore Mike's 3-seeded Browns. And the 5th-seeded Colts take on the 4th-seeded Bills. In the NFC, my Green Bay Packers are the 1st seed and have a first-round bye. In the wild card round, the 7th-seeded Vikings take on the 2nd-seeded Buccaneers. The 6th-seeded Eagles take on the 3rd-seed Cowboys. And the 5th-seeded Falcons take on the 4th-seeded 49ers. Before we get to the playoff results, let's take a look at the Pro Bowl rosters. For the NFC, Johnny H is the starting quarterback. Aaron Jones is the starting running back. Sammy Watkins is receiver 1. Robert Tonyan is the starting tight end. And Bakatari is the starting left tackle. Those are the players from our teams that made the Pro Bowl. And now it's finally time to look at the playoff results. Who made it to Super Bowl 11? Metal Mike's Cleveland Browns will take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl 11. This is Metal Mike's 6th trip to the Super Bowl. His previous 5 he lost to me. As for the Buccaneers, they have won more Super Bowls in our Playerchise with 6 than any other team. They're 6-0, and this is the first time The Buccaneers have made it to the Super Bowl without me controlling them. Will Metalcore Mike finally win his first Super Bowl, or will Tampa Bay continue their Super Bowl domination and go an impressive 7-0 in Super Bowls? But before we find out the outcome of the Super Bowl, it's time for Season 11 NFL Honors. Johnny H won the MVP award. Jacksonville Jaguars coach Doug Peterson won Coach of the Year. Aaron Jones won Offensive Player of the Year. Von Miller won Defensive Player of the Year. The Offensive Rookie of the Year is Johnny H. And the Defensive Rookie of the Year is Aiden Hutchinson. It's finally time for Super Bowl 11. Metalcore Mike's Browns versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Just who will be the Super Bowl champion? Metalcore Mike's Browns handedly defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 42-7. Metalcore Mike finally won his first Super Bowl. Hell of a job, buddy. You've earned it. You've waited 11 seasons for this. I am so glad you won, but keep that Lombardi trophy shiny because I'm coming for it. Season 12. Here are the stats from Super Bowl 11. Metal Mike was 11 for 20, a 55% completion percentage with 260 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a quarterback rating of 118.7. Nick Chubb had 34 carries, 289 yards, and a touchdown. Amari Cooper had 5 catches for 176 yards and 3 touchdowns. Harrison Bryant had 2 catches for 49 yards. Kareem Hunt had 2 catches for 20 yards and a touchdown. And Donovan Peoples-Jones had 2 catches for 15 yards. Here is a quick recap of Season 11. With Super Bowl 11 over and free agency upcoming, here are the top 4 players from my Packers and Metal Mike's Browns that could possibly become free agents. Right tackle, Elgton Jenkins. Wide receiver, Sammy Watkins. Wide receiver, Randall Cobb. And wide receiver, Alan Lazard. For Metal Mike's Browns, defensive tackle, Javon Hargrave. Running back, Kareem Hunt. Left end, Jadeveon Clowney. And right tackle, Jack Conklin. I hope the Packers don't let my starting 3 wide receivers walk, but we'll see what happens in the offseason. Thank you guys for watching another video of our Playerchise. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. And be sure to check out the next video when it drops. It'll be the off-season for Season 12. Find out what rookies our teams drafted, what free agents we signed, and if our top 4 players are still with our teams. I mean, who knows what the game is actually going to do. We don't control free agency or the draft. And be sure to check out Week 1 game will also be in that video. So thank you guys for watching. As always, be safe. Johnny H out.